Alexander is in Philadelphia. Hi, Alexander. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate your time.
Sure. What's up?
So I want to buy a garage ornament, and I want to be on the smart side of the spectrum and have a conversation with you before I end up on the stupid side of the spectrum.
Okay. How expensive a car?
All said and done, everything, it's about $130,000.
Cool. What do you make?
Take home with me and my wife, it's about $14,000 a month with net.
So 150 grand?
I don't. Whatever the net is of that, I don't know.
Probably close to 200. Yeah. Okay. All right.
As far as debt is concerned, well, why don't you ask the question?
That's okay. How much debt do you have?
Here.
That's good. That's okay. How much debt?
$150,000.
On what?
My house.
Okay. And what's your nest egg? How much money you got?
I got about $800,000 in retirement. I got about $430,000, in liquid assets, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I have two sons, and I have about $90,000 in each of their 529 plans.
Okay. So the rule of thumb I use on toys, which you're at the level of toy on this.
Yeah.
And I've got some toys. So the rule of thumb I use and that I teach.
I'm sorry, I'm a guy. It's in my DNA.
That's okay, man.
I don't have a car payment. I have a Subaru. Like, I had enough.
You're going to pay cash for this car, right?
I'm going to do what you tell me. I mean, if you say no,
okay.
No.
If you're not going to pay cash for it, don't do it. Number one rule. Okay. Number two rule is cars go down in value. Things with motors and things with wheels. Cars, boats, Sea-Doos, their sisters. I've got a bunch of things that go wooden, and I like stuff like that, but they all lose value. And so we don't want to have a general rule of thumb is you're a millionaire, okay, a little over $1 million net worth, if I understood the numbers correctly, and it sounds like you make a couple of hundred a year. The trick is we use a rule of thumb that says don't buy things with cars with motors and wheels all total, including your other car, your Subaru, other stuff like that, that equal more than half your annual income because they go down, and we want to have small amounts of things going down in our life. Now, you've got an unusually high net worth. You're paying cash for this. You're probably going to violate that 50% when you buy it. Okay? Matter of fact, we know you are because you make about $200 a year, and you're going to spend $130 just on this one car, and your other cars on top of that are going to put you over that. Normally, I would say that's a no-go. It kind of makes me question it here a little bit.
What's your question?
Well, I mean, I just don't want to put too much in things that go down in value, and I'm trying to look at the ratios of your net worth.
It is like, not to, it is a Nissan GTR. I don't know if you know anything about Nissan GTRs, but they're very, very, very hard to find.
Yeah, they are.
And if you go on Auto Trader or something like that right now, they're astronomically priced even in the used market.
Likelihood.
And even if you're lucky to find a new one.
The new Raptor just came out, 700 horsepower. They're running about 120. Okay, but they're not going to go up in value.
I understand.
Even though they're much like your Nissan that you're talking about. I've looked at that car. It's a very sweet car. And so, you can do it, but what you've got to realize is you've put a little bit more into a depreciating asset. Because 10 years from now, let's face it, that thing's not gone up in value.
No.
I mean, I've got a 1960 Corvette that's frame-up restoration that is fabulous, and I've had it for probably 10 years. I don't think it's gone up a dime in value. I don't think it's gone down any, but it might have gone up a little bit. But the classic cars, some of them like that, some of them will go up a little, or a super, super rare item, that you can't get, like stuff that's running off the auto auction, that kind of stuff, the rare car auctions. Sometimes those will go up in value, but I don't think your Nissan's going to qualify, and I don't think that Raptor is going to qualify for that. So anyway, all that to say, the way I'm not going to tell you what to do. The way I make decisions is, am I putting too much of my asset base in things that are going down rather than up? And normally our guideline is A, pay cash, B, don't have total of more than 50% of your household income in there. Now, an exception to that would be, let's say you called in, you had $8 million in mutual funds, and your household income was $100,000. Well, we wouldn't hold to that 50% of the $100,000, right?
I see what you're saying.
Because you could afford to buy the thing for $130 if you had $8 million and drive it off a cliff tomorrow, and you wouldn't even notice financially.
Right.
That's the point. So you're right on that. You don't have $8 million, but you got $1.5 million. Probably we didn't talk about your house equity, but you're right on that, and you're doing great. So you're not going to go bankrupt because of this. But I wouldn't go buy another one.
Alex.
No. This is it for me. I mean, I don't drive a fancy car.
You're about to.
Not really like that, but I just I've always liked this car for the last however many years it's been out.
It's a sweet vehicle.
I just don't want to. I think I respect everything that you say. You obviously are in the man of position for a reason. So I just didn't want to. Well,
you see, like you get the principles I'm using.
Yeah, I understand. I completely understand what you're saying.
And so, based on those principles, you're on the bubble. You wouldn't be on the dumb side. If your net worth was $500,000, I'd say don't do it. Okay.
Yeah, my house is worth a pretty good amount of money too, and I don't owe that much on the house. Like I said, I only owe $150 on the house.
What's it worth?
So, I just had my real estate agent look at it. He said $1.6 million, $1.7 million.
Okay, so your net worth $3 million.
So
yeah, okay.
I feel like that moves the needle.
That does move the needle. That moves it in your favor. See, you see what I'm talking about here? That's the whole thing.
Right, I just don't.
We can rationalize our butts off, and I appreciate you calling. I appreciate the spirit. You're being humble about it. You're not being smart aleck. You're not being sarcastic. You really did want to know.
That house threw it over the edge, in my book.
You're okay then?
Yeah, okay. I'm good. I'm sleeping good tonight, Alexander, if you buy this car, and I'm happy for you.
And she's the one that just yelled at all of America about car payments. So just keep in mind that's
Get you that $130,000 car. He's got over $2 million in net worth.
Three.
Yeah. No, definitely get it. And get me one, too. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there you go. That is a sweet vehicle. Y'all look it up if you hadn't looked it up. Oh, man. All right. That's the thing. And these numbers do change. Here's an example. Okay. Everybody says, okay, what percentage of my income should I spend on food? Mm-hmm. Well, if we give you a percentage that's true for people that make $100,000, what if somebody made $1 million?
That's right.
They don't need to spend that much on food because they'd be large.
And in charge.
Okay. I mean, so these things skew out. If you have a very low income, you're, very poor. Okay. You're just barely getting started. You have to spend a larger percentage of your income on food.
That's right.
So, to just meet necessities. So these things skew out. The principles that we give you skew out based on net worth, based on income being at extremes. And a $3 million net worth is an extreme in America today. The guy's very successful. Way to go, Alexander.
Yeah, I'm happy for him.
The thing is, you just got to get these principles down. Quit buying $50,000 cars when you make $50,000 and you got no money.
Right.
That's just straight up stupid. That's the point of these principles. And he's not even in that same book, much less the same chapter or the same page.
Well, that's the point. Dave, we yell at people a lot for doing dumb stuff, but we're equally happy for the people who have worked hard. They've got the money. Then, yes, spend your money. Money is fun to spend. It's fun to give, save, and spend.
It's fun to enjoy.
It's fun to enjoy.
That's
and I think people think that we have forgotten that, but we have not forgotten that.
No.
It is fun to spend.